Happy Friday, Wenatchee Valley. Happy Friday, North Central Washington. Happy Friday, everybody out there who's decided to start their day and start their weekend with us here on the NCW Life Channel. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. It's the third day of April 2020. Thanks for starting your day off. Of course, we're on cable and we're over the air and we're on the World Wide Web. And there are people who watch us, our live stream. Well, I know of a number of snowbirds who head south for the winter, but they still keep in touch with what's going on in North Central Washington by watching this show. I'll do better, I promise. Lots going on today. We're in for a very windy day today. The weather has really been kind of unsettled, and that's basically the way it's been. No real continuous pattern of anything going on. But a couple of things to make a note of. We set a new record yesterday. Thursday's overnight low was 27 degrees as measured at Pangbourne Memorial Airport. You got to measure it someplace, and that's where they do it at. And so that 27 degree low yesterday set a new record for April 2nd. The old record was 30 degrees, which was set back in 1963. I wasn't around to remember that one. And it's chilly right now. It's 30 degrees outside of our studios. And since the sun has been up for about 20 minutes, it's going to drop down a couple more degrees. Our record low for this date is also 27 degrees. I don't think we're going to get down to 27 this morning, but we did yesterday, so we set a new record. And today the big story is going to be the wind. Very breezy conditions will start developing late in the morning. It's going to last all the way through the afternoon and into the evening hours, and then it's going to be basically unsettled and cool into the early part of next week. We're going to gradually warm up. Yesterday they were thinking we could be in the lower 70s by Tuesday of next week. That was being a little optimistic. The National Weather Service is backing off that a little bit. Still room for some nice weather next week. We got to get there first. We got news headlines, a lot of COVID-19 related news, as you might imagine. Governor Inslee extending the stay-at-home decree yesterday. That'll be our top story, plus other local COVID-19 related stuff to talk about. We got sports. How is the spring sports schedule going to fly out for the local high schools? It's getting iffier and iffier as the days go by. We'll have the obscure holiday. Mike McNally's got an opinion. We got some birthdays for you as well. And today in history. 3 minutes after the hour, 30 degrees, clear skies, beautiful morning. Let's take you around the valley and North Central Washington with our Valley View cameras. We always start with the cross camera when it is available to us. It's always available to us. It's very rarely not working, but occasionally, of course, we have low clouds and fog and we can't see anything. Not the case today. Looks mighty fine indeed. Sun is up. Sun came up, and here's a nice little, you're going to like this little fact. Sunrise this morning, 6:34. Sunset tonight, 7:34. That gives us 13 hours of daylight right on the button. The days are getting longer and longer, but it's going to feel pretty darn chilly right into the weekend. And enjoyed the sunshine today because it looks like the sun's going to be taking the weekend off. So good morning to the Wenatchee Valley, the lifeblood of North Central Washington. From this point forward, I don't know. My producer throws it up, and I have to take a look, and I'm looking at that beautiful view of the sun coming up, and I am completely flummoxed. Help me out. Oh, the small town tower. Okay. Oh, thank you very much, Megan. That's the Columbia River. I'm pretty sure that we're looking at there, and obviously we're looking at power lines. There, see? I'm really good at stating the obvious. I'm very proud of that. Camera number 3. Where are we off to? It looks to be the Tumwater camera. Good morning to Leavenworth. It's good to see you. Leavenworth, of course, is their economy is almost entirely based on people coming from other locations to visit them, spending their money, and then leaving town. And so Leavenworth is taking a pretty good hit with what's been going on over the last month or so. Hang in there, Bavarian village of Leavenworth. We all have to weather these storms together. Camera number 4. Is it 4 already? I think it is 4. Good morning, Billy Goat. Good view there. Nice work. Hello, Billy Goat, Mount Kalispell way out there. Good morning to our friends at Brewster, Bridgeport, Pateros at the bottom of your screen, and the Medhow Valley. Gamble Sands, of course, is one of the many golf courses that are not open. And they will not be opening till at least it looks like now May 5th because it's been extended, and that's going to be our lead story, the stay-at-home order from Governor Inslee. So we get to say good morning to our friends up in the Okanagan County area. It's good to have you on board. These towers are everywhere. They're north and south, and they're out in the Columbia Basin. So again, in this day and age where a lot of people are shuttered at home and you're you're kind of getting through life based on the internet, and you say, I got slow internet, or I'm paying way too much, or whatever. If you can see any of our Sky-Fi towers, and there's a bunch of them all over North Central Washington, it's all line of sight. Walk outside your door. If you can say, hey, I think there's a tower there or a tower there, give a local telecom, and they'll see if they can set you up with Sky-Fi. So you can get high-speed internet. You don't have to have fiber. 6 minutes after the hour. Got a slide to show you from the National Weather Service. This came down earlier today. Look at the wind directions and look at the wind gusts. Wenatchee, about 20 to 25, so they backed off that a little bit. They were thinking 30 to 35 miles an hour. And again, these are gusts, not sustained winds. Still down in Ellensburg, it's going to be breezy, windy in the Moses Lake area, Ritzville, Spokane. The higher north you go, not nearly as bad, but of course there's always those locations that are exposed to the wind. The wind will be blowing almost directly west to east. Most of it, of course, will be this afternoon and the early evening hours as that low pressure system is pushing through the Pacific Northwest as we speak. So that is your wind gust forecast and your wind direction. Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling gives your home a hug. Let's take a look at the forecast. Sunny today, breezy this morning, downright windy this afternoon, and that high of 52 is below normal. Our normal high for this date would be right at 60. Yesterday we only hit 49. It was chilly. And as we get deeper and deeper into spring, our normal highs and our normal lows get warmer, but our temperatures aren't. So sunshine today, and that's going to last the last real good blast of sunshine until Monday. 52 for our forecast high. Again, wind out of the west this morning, about 6 to 15 miles an hour, picking up in intensity to about 20 miles an hour, the occasional gust about 25 or maybe even 30 miles an hour in some locations today. Clouds will be increasing tonight as this upper trough continues to roll through the Pacific Northwest, so look for thickening clouds. Chilly, 29 for the overnight low. Still, some northwest wind tonight will eventually die down. The weekend, pretty much, sun's taking the weekend off. Clouds on Saturday. We'll have a little bit of sunshine Saturday morning. By Saturday afternoon, we'll have nothing but clouds, high of about 53 degrees. Again, that's cool. No wind to speak of on Saturday. Saturday night, lots of clouds. Wind will be gone by that point. 36 for the overnight low. The clouds will be holding the heat in, 35 or 36. On Sunday, cloudy, about 53. No rain in the forecast on Sunday. So again, we just can't seem to bust out of these lower 50s. Then we change the corner a little bit. We start warming up and we start drying out, and we are looking good on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It's going to be mostly sunny skies. We're still going to see a few clouds, but the sun will be getting the job done. So we'll be getting near 50 on Monday, lower 60s on Tuesday, mid 60s on Wednesday, upper 60s on Thursday. I'm liking that. Overnight lows will be above normal. So the story today, lots of sunshine, cool temperatures, windy conditions, gusty, really, very much so, especially this afternoon. Then we're looking at quite a bit of cloud cover, no rain, no precipitation in the forecast on Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures still below normal, but the overnight lows will be not quite as cool as we've had. And then we go to sunny and mild conditions into the early part of next week, just what the doctor ordered. 8 minutes after the hour, 9 minutes after the hour right now. Normally we don't do the pass report. We would normally dispatch with them, but we have winter driving conditions in the Cascades. So I want to take a quick look at what's going on up in the Cascades. It's a live shot of Snoqualmie Pass. They have a traction tire advisory. The roadway is mostly bare and wet, but there is some snow and slush in places. It is snowing on I-90, and so they have a traction tire advisory on Snoqualmie Pass this late in the winter season. Stevens Pass also has a traction tire advisory. They have lighter snow, not really sticking to the roadway, but there's enough snow and slush on the roadway that they do have a traction tire advisory up and running on Stevens Pass. Blewett Pass is fine. No advisories, no restrictions. It's not snowing. It's not raining. You're fine. So Blewett, you're looking good. I-90, you get on I-90, you have a traction tire advisory there with some snow coming down. And then on Stevens Pass, you also have a traction tire advisory with some light snow coming down. It's snowing hardest right now on I-90. It's all going to be tapering off. Your forecast for the mountain passes today, snow 1, 2 to 3 inches, depending on elevation. Another inch or two expected tonight, and then that's it. So a few inches of snow today, an inch or two possible tonight into Saturday morning, and then we're done with any kind of snow in the Cascades for the foreseeable future. Hopefully that will be it for our past reports. We can dispatch with those for another winter driving season. 10 minutes after the hour, 29 degrees outside of our studios. Going to take a break and come back with the news. You're watching a Friday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
My name is Lacey Haggerty, and I'm a nurse midwife with Columbia Valley Community Health. I love all aspects of my job because it is a profession that's very committed to empowering women to make decisions in their health care that feel best for them. It's incredibly valuable to me as a midwife that I get to take care of women throughout their whole lifespan. I hope to see you at a future visit because I know you'll love having midwifery care.
Save Mart remains open to serve our community with its huge selection of furniture, mattresses, and appliances. Parts and service department is ready to make sure you have what you need to keep your household functioning during these unusual times. Wenatchee Power Sports is keeping its parts and service departments open to serve the greater community. Agriculture and others depend on these machines to continue to produce and transport the goods and services we need. If you have a pest problem, Harvest Valley Pest Control will remain available to take care of your needs. Call 797-0090 and let us know how we can make your home pest-free.
Yeah, 11 minutes after the hour on this Friday, we have clear skies and 30 degrees. Get ready for quite a bit of wind. Lots of sunshine today. Highs will be in the lower 50s, so well below normal for our afternoon highs. Lots of clouds and cool temperatures with no real rain or snow in the forecast on Saturday or Sunday, and then sunny and warmer conditions become the norm come next week. And here's what's making headlines. Governor Jay Inslee last night announcing an extension of his emergency stay-at-home order through May 4th now. All of it, of course, designed to halt the spread of the coronavirus. Yesterday's announcement extends by about a month. Inslee's order that has closed thousands of businesses, schools, and a lot of, society at large, really, as we continue to battle cases of COVID-19. So the extension means the entire stay-at-home order will remain in effect for a full 6 weeks. That makes Tuesday, May 5th, the target date, the first day that businesses and other activities can resume normal operations. Another person from Quincy was confirmed to have tested positive for COVID-19 on Wednesday. That brings the cases in the city of Quincy alone to 36. Now remember, Quincy only has about 7,500 people in it. And they have more than half of Grant County's cases and far more than Chelan, Douglas, and Okanagan counties combined. Quincy also had Eastern Washington's first positive result of the virus. That was back on March 4th. That man in his 80s died 3 days later at Central Washington Hospital here in Wenatchee. Grant County Health District Administrator Teresa Atkinson says the first patient, a frequent visitor to the senior center in Quincy, had not traveled recently or had been in contact with somebody who had traveled.
And so from our very first case, we consider that one community spread. Our first case did not have interactions outside of our community, so somehow it got introduced into the community and that individual got exposed. But based on our investigation, there's not a clear link to travel that individual had. That some individuals that are positive, they're recovering at home and there's no hospitalization needed. We had 7 people hospitalized. We had our first patient get released and is at home recovering. And actually, I take that back. We've had 2 patients that have been discharged and recovered at home. But we still have several of our hospitalized patients that are on ventilators and fighting for their lives. And that weighs heavy on our hearts and our healthcare system because it can be a vicious bug, and it can attack the younger population. We're seeing it in our working age range. I think we're doing a better job of caring for our elders. Our case count in our elder population isn't going up as quickly as it is in the 30 to 50 age range.
Of course, frontline healthcare workers have always been at risk for contracting coronavirus, and now Confluence Health says it's detected its first known case among a staff member. The infected worker lives in Grant County, works in Chelan County. The person is not an inpatient care provider, and Confluence Health says it does not believe the worker contracted the virus from a patient. The worker is now in home isolation. Confluence says it believes the risk of patients exposed to the virus by contact with its staff member is low. Confluence healthcare workers in Wenatchee say they are overwhelmed with gratitude for donations of personal protective equipment being sent in by the community, disposable gloves, N95 masks, homemade masks. They've poured through the program established by the group's nonprofit Foundation. You can still contribute, by the way, your own donations and learn how to make a proactive or protective face mask at home. You can use the resources. They're pretty easy to find. It's right on Confluence Health's homepage. The city of Wenatchee is saying it is following the advice of its insurance provider, decided on Wednesday to close off the play equipment, basketball courts, and picnic areas in their own parks. Earlier, the Wenatchee School District and the Chelan County PUD shut down access to its play areas in an effort to slow the spread of coronavirus. Of course, the Town Toyota Center is the Wenatchee Valley's biggest gathering place, and now it's the central point each Wednesday for food distribution to those in need. Our very own Rachel Mandalis visited the event and spoke with one of the coordinators.
The previous week, we did 452, and this week we did, just shy of 300. We are, working with the Community Action Council, who is really a huge story in this whole food insecurity in our community. The Community Action Council has set up their assembly and distribution center here at the Town Toyota Center, and they're doing over 3,000 boxes a week that they're putting together throughout the two-county area. And so we did receive boxes from them, and then we also added and supplemented our donations that come in and our supply chains that we were able to add to that. So we had about 10 volunteers. 13, because we had 3 out in the parking lot. And so we had 3 that were out in the parking lot that were kind of directing traffic, and then we had 4 out that were putting boxes in cars, and then the rest were doing the assembly on the inside and getting them out to the cars. Our food bank, by the way, was a drive-through, and so people did not need to get out of their cars. They just popped the hatch in the back, and we dropped those in. And so we've had as many as 70 volunteers that have signed up this week. They're not all here at the same time. We limit that to 10 volunteers in the space at any given time, but that's a lot, actually, for now. We definitely see an increased need. The numbers that we talked about today, that Community Action Council typically does somewhere around 10,000, 10,500 boxes in our two-county area a month, and anticipate that going up close to 13,000. There's folks that are coming to the food bank now that have never gone to a food bank. You've got layoffs of folks that have had the resources personally to be able to to be food secure, and now with the layoffs coming, and there is a significant increase in that need. Yes, but I really believe that this community is ahead of the curve in terms of responding, with partners like the Town Toyota Center and Link adjusting their route to help folks that don't have wheels to get to the food bank, have an opportunity to get the food that they need. And I think the biggest story is that we are responding compassionately while maintaining a level of safety, for that we all need to be practicing right now.
Amen to that, Tom. Housing aid is a key component of the federal COVID-19 stimulus, and yesterday, Senator Maria Cantwell said North Central Washington is in line for some of those funds. Community development block grants to the area total about $84,000 for East Wenatchee. Wenatchee is going to get about $139,000. The grants have to go towards critical housing programs approved by the United States Housing and Urban Development, as the state's largest cities, Seattle and Spokane, gets the lion's share of the $52 million total awarded in this state. Well, among the court proceedings delayed by the COVID-19 pandemic, the case of Theron Heidemann. He's the Peshasta man accused of 14 child sexual abuse charges stretching back almost 2 decades. Heidemann, who's 53 years old, was set to go to trial at the end of this month, but on Wednesday, the Chelan County judge said that's probably not going to happen, with the statewide stay-at-home order restricting the availability of people to serve on a jury. Heidemann has been in jail for 3 years now, ever since 4 alleged victims began giving statements to the police. Attorneys say they'll decide how to proceed at another court hearing, which is scheduled for Monday of next week. The Moses Lake Police Department wants to share some good news. K-9 Chief is rapidly returning to his normal self with the assistance of his adopted sister, Zoe. Look at that. Of course, the police dog was shot in the eye back on February 28th as he and Officer Nick Stewart were pursuing a suspect wanted in several robberies. Stewart then shot and killed 22-year-old Jose L. Rivera, who was also a person of interest in 2 drive-by shootings. Chief was treated at Washington State University's veterinary clinic in Pullman, returned March 4th to a hero's welcome in Moses Lake. Hopefully that soft muzzle he's been wearing for his broken jaw will be removed during a trip later on this month to the vet. And that's what's making headlines on this Thursday morning. It's amazing how you can put together a newscast with so few people physically in the building, but we've been able to do it because we have a really good news staff, and we'll have another newscast for you tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. And with the preview, the anchor, my friend Grant Olson. Apparently Grant has laryngitis. We will have a news, trust me on that. We got it again.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, we continue with our COVID-19 public service announcements with area elected officials. Tonight, Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett. I'll have your unseasonably cool north central Washington weather forecast, and from his home office, Eric Granstrom will report on sports. That and all the day's news coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Well, it's live TV. You work without a net. You want to get a hold of us? You're more than welcome to do so, and you do. You're really good at it. You can email us directly. The whole staff gets these emails. They're news at ncwlife.com, news at ncwlife.com. You can go to our Facebook page and drop us a line via Facebook Messenger. That works fine as well. Or if you go to our homepage at ncwlife.com, not only are we populating it throughout the course of the day with the latest local news, but there's also a Contact Us icon at the top of the screen. If you click on that, the form pops up. You fill out the form and push send, and we get it right here. We're going to take a break with the new extended stay-at-home order. What does that mean for high school spring sports? There's a lot we don't know. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hello everyone, my name is Frank Kuntz and I'm the mayor of the city of Wenatchee. Please join me in staying home, staying safe, and staying healthy. This is a crucial time in our region. Please do what's right by your friends and neighbors, stay 6 feet away from each other, and be as safe as you possibly can. This is a really crucial time in our valley, and it's time for all of us to step up, support each other, and be good neighbors. For those of you that are hiking in the foothills, please maintain a safe distance. Enjoy yourself, get great exercise, but also be considerate for those around you. I've had a number of complaints over the last 3 or 4 days of too many hikers in the foothills, people not staying far enough away from each other. So please, let us keep those foothills open for everyone to enjoy, and do your part to stay safe and stay 6 feet away from those that are hiking on the same trail as you. Thank you all for helping us make Wenatchee a great place to live. Stay home, stay healthy, and stay safe.
We're back at 24 minutes after the hour. Sports, the WIAA still trying to be upbeat about the potential for some sort of spring sports championships, despite the extension of the stay home, stay healthy order by the governor that will not expire now until Monday, May 4th. The WIAA had originally set an April 24th date as the guideline for still having spring state championships after the governor announced way back on March 13th that all schools would close for 6 weeks because of the coronavirus outlook. The executive director of the WIAA is Mick Hoffman. He says they still hope to hold some kind of end-of-season event.
Good afternoon. Mick Hoffman, Executive Director of WIAA here with a spring sports update. As we navigate these uncharted waters, we are continually planning to provide some opportunity for kids this spring to compete. Our current plans include a return by May 4th would allow us to provide some type of culminating events. In an ideal world, they'd look no different than in previous years. However, that will be contingent upon facilities and officials being available, and that is a very fluid process. If we return back sometime after May 4th, we have already begun contingency planning. with our board and our WI district directors to provide some type of competition in local areas or regionally. Our goal is to give anybody that's interested in competing an opportunity to compete as they had planned. Our ultimate goal is to provide every senior that senior game. Again, there's more questions than answers, but we are working very, very diligently to provide opportunities for our students. I also hope in the interim you do your part, that you stay home, you stay healthy, and keep us all safe so we can speed up this process with whatever control we have.
Now, the 6 spring sports are scheduled to begin their state championships May 27th, golf for May 30th for track and field, baseball, boys soccer, softball, tennis. The Columbia Basin Big Nine had readjusted their schedule. They were supposed to start on Saturday, May 2nd. That obviously is going to have to be readjusted as well. According to Eastmont Athletic Director Russ Waterman, they're already working on a strategy. He said the Big Nine spoke briefly via text last night. We'll have a teleconference sometime in the near future. Waterman said, quote, "We need to really think out of the box and what it would look like to salvage any of the season. Weighing on all of our minds as well as the coaches is how we can get something done for all of our seniors." And quote, the WIAA is not going to extend spring sports into June, so whatever can get jammed to the month of May is going to be all they can do. We'll continue to keep a close eye on this. The NCAA shutdown of the spring sports season combined with Major League Baseball's reduction of this year's draft could have significant impacts on college baseball moving forward. Strange to say, but COVID-19 could be good for college baseball. The pandemic forcing not only the cancellation of the college baseball season, but provided an opportunity for seniors to get another year of eligibility. In addition, Major League Baseball is trimming the 2020 draft from its usual 40 rounds to 10 rounds, or maybe even less than that. That means a glut of great baseball talent that may go directly from high school to the pros will instead choose the college route. Washington State coach Brian Green said in a conference call with reporters Thursday that, quote, "College baseball's got a chance to be extremely stout this year, just in terms of strong rosters," end quote. Now, Green says under normal circumstances, college coaches are biting their nails on recruits who might be drafted by major league teams, but now those 6, 7, or 8 round draft kids are planning to go to school instead. That means, anyway, perhaps a significant impact on the talent level of players in summer collegiate baseball programs like the West Coast League. Teams like the Wenatchee Apple Sox and others in the WCL could be the only place a lot of these collegiate athletes have a chance to play baseball. This summer, the West Coast League still on pace to begin their season the first weekend in June. Our weekend sports broadcast here on the NCAA Live Channel, more classics, classic Big Nine soccer match from last March between Eastmont and Sunnyside. In fact, it was held on March 16th of last year. Even though it was an Eastmont home game, they had to hold it at the Apple Bowl in Wenatchee because, of course, Eastmont soccer field still had a bunch of snow on it. The Wildcats fell behind 2-0, but came storming back in the second half. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen had the call right here on the NCAA Live Channel.
Maldonado, Balauro, right-footed shot, go, 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 go! Nate Balauro for the Eastmont Wildcats, 73 minutes, 17 seconds.
Great shot. That had a lot of movement on it. He knuckled that ball. Very difficult to get a feel where it's going to go if you're the keeper. And yeah.
This could be interesting. Andrade, top of the box, in the box. Good control, the shot, bounces off a defender. Whistle on the play, penalty kick.
Handball.
Penalty kick, handball. Penalty kick, handball, and the fans are going crazy. And Mr. Palma is going crazy, or was going crazy, but he's going to keep his mouth shut. He's already got a yellow card to his name. Sergio Bravo, the right-footed shot. Bravo, go, 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 go! And we're tied at 2 in injury time here at the Apple Bowl.
Now, the game would eventually go to a shootout. Who wins between Eastmont and Sunnyside? You'll have to tune in tonight at 7 o'clock to find out. That's tonight. Coming up tomorrow, Saturday, it's Wenatchee and Eastmont and boys soccer at 2 o'clock, followed by the Wenatchee Wild and Penticton at hockey at 7 o'clock on Sunday. You can check out boys lacrosse as Wenatchee hosts Sela at 2, and that'll be followed by Wenatchee Wild hockey against Salmon Arm at 7. And those are just some of the games that people are not playing. On this Friday, it's the bottom of the hour, 29 degrees, clear skies, on our way to a high in the lower 50s, but lots of sunshine and lots of wind. Clouds will be coming in and dominating the weekend. The obscure holiday, I had 4 to choose from. Today is National Film Score Day. The importance of music in movies. Didn't do that one. National Tweed Day, which has nothing to do with the fabric or the yarn. National Tweed Day is in honor of Bill Tweed, who ran Tammany Hall in New York City in the 1860s. Not going to do that one either. National Chocolate Mousse Day. That sounds good. Although I've never seen a mousse covered in chocolate. We're going to go with, I can't think this is of a better holiday. Today is National Find a Rainbow Day. National Find a Rainbow Day. Of course, a rainbow is not an object. You can't approach or physically touch a rainbow, but rainbows are still pretty cool, and we could actually use a couple of rainbows. No two people see the same rainbow. In fact, even our individual eyes in our head see slightly different rainbows. Rainbows can be seen not just in rain when the sun comes at just the right angle, but also mist and spray and fog and dew. As long as there are water drops in the air and the light shines behind it at a right angle, you got yourself a rainbow. And then there's the occasionally rare double rainbow. Look for that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. National Find a Rainbow Day today. You're going to have to find one today. I don't think we're going to have one, but make up your own rainbow. Today in history. 138 years ago today, Robert Ford shot Jesse James in the back of the head. He was part of the Jesse James gang. By this time in 1882, the Jesse James gang was pretty much disbanded. He was pretty much on his own. There are those who believe that Jesse James knew this was coming because he basically took his guns off, put it on a chair, stood up, purposely turned his back on Robert Ford. There was a bounty out. The governor said, hey, Jesse James wanted dead or alive. Robert Ford shot him, surrendered to the authorities. He thought, well, heck, there's a reward money. Instead, he was charged with first-degree murder. In the course of a single day, Robert Ford was indicted. He pled guilty, was found guilty, was sentenced to death by hanging, and then pardoned by the governor, all in one day. And the saga of Jesse James came to an end when Robert Ford put a bullet in his brain on this date 138 years ago today. 72nd anniversary of the Marshall Plan. Good move here, named after General George Marshall, although he ran it, but he never liked to call it the Marshall Plan. U.S. President Harry Truman, basically the United States gave 16 countries $5 billion to help start rebuilding Western Europe at the conclusion of World War II. It was a lesson that we learned in World War I. Weren't going to make that mistake again. The Marshall Plan went into effect 72 years ago today. Good for us. Today is the 47th anniversary of the very first cell phone call. You see that gentleman right there? That's Martin Cooper of Motorola. He had a rival. His rival was Joe Engel, who worked at Bell Labs. So they had Joel at Bell Labs trying to work on a cell phone. They had Martin at Motorola trying to work on a cell phone. And on April 3rd, 1973, 47 years ago today, he took this big brick-like phone, went out in the streets of Manhattan, called Joel up, said, Joel, it's Marty, how you doing? He goes, by the way, Joel, I'm calling on a workable cell phone from the streets of Manhattan. The very first handheld cell phone call was made on this date, April 3rd, 1973. And finally, how about something really cool? That's the box score. You probably can't read it. But on April 3rd, 1989, 31 years ago today, Ken Griffey Jr. of the Seattle Mariners makes his major league debut. Here is his very first at-bat as a major leaguer against Dave Stewart of the Oakland Athletics.
25 years from now, you're going to want to say, I was there when Ken Griffey Jr. made his home debut. So don't forget that on Monday night. There's a drive into the gap in left center field, and deep left center field, and Henderson's not going to get to it. It's off the base of the wall, and Griffey to second base in his first major league at bat, a ringing double off the 375 marker, and we have seen that all spring. Welcome to the show, Ken Griffey Jr.
He would, by the way, in case you're curious, I looked this up, he would hit 523 more doubles in his career, 2,781 total hits. And of course, a couple of years ago, Ken Griffey Jr. became the first man ever inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame as a Seattle Mariner. It all began on this date, 31 years ago today. Let's do some birthdays. At the time, in the 50s and the 60s, he was called the most influential private citizen in America. He founded Time Magazine, Fortune Magazine, Life Magazine, Sports Illustrated. His name was Henry Luce, and he made a lot of money and influenced a lot of people and made a lot of enemies. He was born in the state in 1898, died in 1967 at the age of 68. But he was the first real media empire king that this country ever had. Many people consider this guy the greatest actor this country has ever produced. Marlon Brando was born in this state in 1924. He died in 2004 at the age of 80. 2 Academy Award winning performances, of course, was Terry Malloy, and On the Waterfront, he was really good in that movie. And, of course, is Vito Corleone in The Godfather, and a bunch of other Academy Award nominations as well. Marlon Brando, the great American actor, born in the state in 1924. Love him or hate him, he saved Saturday Night Live single-handedly. I'm talking about Eddie Murphy, the American actor and comedian. He's 59 years old today. Saturday Night Live was that close to being canceled, but Eddie Murphy burst onto the scene as just a teenager. He was 19 years old when he made his debut on Saturday Night Live, and Saturday Night Live was essentially saved from cancellation because of the talents of Eddie Murphy. Of course, he went on to make 48 Hours, the Beverly Hills Cop series, Trading Places, The Nutty Professor. Eddie Murphy, who returned to host Saturday Night Live earlier this year. He's 59 years old today. And I like a lot of people on weekends, I like to watch cricket from Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka cricket is it's a phenomenal sporting event. And whenever Thisara Perera is at bat, I'm enthralled by him. Thisara Perera, the great cricket player from Sri Lanka, is 31 years old today. I know he's also a personal favorite of Megan, my producer, who's a big fan of his. So, gonna watch a little cricket over the weekend because I got nothing else to do. It's 37 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a break. Mike McNaughty has got an opinion. He always does. Mike's coming up. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
When you think of Doghouse Motorsports, you might think of motorcycles, but there's a lot more in this house. How about Honda Power Equipment? From snowblowers to lawnmowers to generators and even water pumps, Honda is the brand that sets the standards. Perhaps you need an ATV or UTV. The Doghouse has the largest selection anywhere. Did we mention watercraft and snowmobiles? And of course, we have motorcycles too. Back it up with terrific customer service and you have Wenatchee's best motorsports store 5 years running. Isn't it time for you to be in the Doghouse?
Contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around North Central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full millwork shop can handle jobs large or small. Lombard's has a full line of interior and exterior doors available, as well as custom barn doors. From alderwood to zebrawood and everything in between, it's Lombard's Hardwood Supply on School Street in Sunny Slope. Like us on Facebook and check out our monthly special.
Kelly's Ace Hardware is open and ready to help with all the essential items you need at this time. Curb service and limited delivery available as well. You can always count on Kelly's when the community calls. Mailboxes Chelan provides important services to our community and will continue to do so on new limited hours. Whatever your shipping and receiving needs, Jerry and Sherry are here to help from 9 to 3 weekdays. Green Dot Subs is open for takeout business. All those fabulous sandwiches that people drive miles to get are still available at both locations in Manson and Chelan. Call ahead and they will make one for you.
I have a hereditary bone disease from the female side of my family. My bone loss was so significant that you could almost see the roots. I became embarrassed and I started covering my mouth. Eating became very difficult as far as I stopped eating apples, corn on the cob, things that you just eat as it is without utensils. Dr. Divis was my dentist prior to having implants. We talked about traditional dentures or implants, and implants was the only way really that I could go. John Divis and all of his office staff, they checked on me throughout all the processes. I would never go anyplace else. Today, I can eat corn on the cob. I can have apples. Thanks to Dr. John Divis and his staff, I have my smile back. I feel more confident. I am me again.
This is John Divis. Let our team help you solve your dental needs.
We've been in this valley for almost 40 years, helping people get and stay strong. As I sit here in this empty gym, I want to remind you of that strength. We're a hard-working community built from agriculture and local business, and we'll get through this. In the meantime, stay distant, stay active, stay safe. We will all be here when this is over.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, in high school, my friend Fritz and his girlfriend Maria, they started asking me to go out on their dates with them. Now, this was because Maria had a friend Sally who liked me, and Maria always arranged for this kind of double date kind of thing. Now, I really wasn't into Sally, but to be nice, I'd have to go to her door and pick her up, you know, and then go out with Fritz and Maria. But about the third time this happened, Sally's parents met me at the door, and they said I couldn't pick up Sally anymore until I combed my hair and tucked in my shirt. I turned around and walked out. Oh, Sally came running out a few minutes early, really angry, and said she told her parents to mind their own doggone business. But honestly, this was the last time I picked up Sally. You know, memories of youth and dating, they're sometimes not all they're cracked up to be. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
You want to help others. You need a solid career. You can have both with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, stop by our campus at 595 Grant Road across from Safeway, or visit chartercollege.edu.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
I'm Dr. Wayne Latimer. I'm a chiropractic physician. I have postgraduate certifications in both whiplash, trauma, and rehab, as well as sports medicine. The location is great. The light and the visibility, the 17-foot ceilings are fantastic. You can go into a lot of clinics, and it's very clinical. People really like the spa environment, so my whole premise was take a spa environment, add the very serious rehab, and give people an enjoyable way to get better over time.
Pybus Public Market restaurants are open for takeout, and our fresh produce, meats, and seafood shops open for pickup. Go to www.pybusmarket.org, click on the red Pybus Market and COVID-19 button to view hours, menus, and place orders online. We are grateful for your continued support of the Pybus Public Market, restaurants, and merchants. Mike's Meats and Seafood, Royal Produce, Little Red's Bakery and Espresso, Fire and Ice, and Pybus Bistro.
And we are back at about 44 minutes after the hour. We just dipped down to 28 degrees. That's chilly. That's just 1 degree off the record low for this date, for April 3rd. And if you're just joining us, we set a new record low on Thursday, April 2nd. We got down to 27 degrees, which was a new record, breaking the old record of the overnight low of 30 degrees, which was set back in 1963. So we have had some very chilly temperatures. Well, record-breaking low temperatures. As a matter of fact, we could still break that record, or at least tie it, perhaps today. I'll let you know, and we'll do a complete weather forecast, which is calling for lots of sunshine and lots of wind later on today in just a couple of minutes. But first, we wanted to keep you in the loop with another run-through on the news. As you probably know by now, Governor Jay Inslee last night announcing an extension of his emergency stay-at-home order. Now this goes through Monday, May 4th. The whole idea is to halt the spread of the coronavirus. Yesterday's announcement extends by nearly a month Inslee's order that closed thousands of businesses, schools. Society as a whole, of course, has been pretty much closed as the state continues to battle COVID-19, the illness caused by the virus. The extension means the entire stay-home order will remain in effect for a full 6 weeks, so Tuesday, May 5th. Circle that on your calendar. That could be the first day for businesses and other activities to open. We'll keep a close eye on this. Another person from Quincy was confirmed to have been tested positive for COVID-19. This was on Wednesday. That brings the cases for the city of Quincy alone to 36. Now, Quincy only has about 7,500 people, but they have more than half of Grant County's cases and far more than Chelan, Douglas, and Okanagan counties combined. Quincy also had Eastern Washington's first positive result with the virus. That was back on March 4th. A man in his 80s who died 3 days later at Central Washington Hospital here in Wenatchee. Teresa Atkinson is the Grant County Health District Administrator. She says that first patient I just referred to, a frequent visitor to the Quincy Senior Center, had not traveled recently or had been in contact with somebody who had been traveling.
And so from our very first case, we consider that one community spread. Our first case did not have interactions outside of our community, so somehow it got introduced into the community and that individual got exposed. But based on our investigation, there's not a clear link to travel that individual had. That some individuals that are positive, they're recovering at home and there's no hospitalization needed. We had 7 people hospitalized. We had our first patient get released and is at home recovering. And actually, I take that back. We've had 2 patients that have been discharged and recovered at home. But we still have several of our hospitalized patients that are on ventilators and fighting for their lives. And that weighs heavy on our hearts and our healthcare system because it can be a vicious bug, and it can attack the younger population. We're seeing it in our working age range. I think we're doing a better job of caring for our elders. Our case count in our elder population isn't going up as quickly as it is in the 30 to 50 age range.
Of course, those healthcare workers who work on the very front line have always been at risk for contracting coronavirus, and Confluence Health says it has detected now its first known case among a staff member. The infected worker lives in Grant County, works in Chelan County. The person is not an inpatient care provider, and Confluence Health says it does not believe the worker contracted the virus from a patient. The worker is now at home in isolation. Confluence says it believes the risk of patients exposed to the virus by contact with its staff members is still quite low. Speaking of Confluence Health, care workers in Wenatchee say they've been overwhelmed with gratitude for donations. They've been getting a lot of donations of personal protective equipment sent in by the community, disposable gloves, N95 masks, homemade masks. They've been pouring it through the program that was established by the Central Washington Hospital Foundation. That's the group's nonprofit foundation. You can contribute your own donations, and you can also learn how to make a protective face mask. It's not that hard to do, and you can do that by going to the Confluence Health's website. It's right there. It's pretty easy. The city of Wenatchee says it's going to follow the advice of its insurance provider, and they decided Wednesday to close off the play equipment, the basketball courts, and the picnic areas in city parks. Earlier, the Wenatchee School District and the Chelan County PUD shut down access to their play areas in an effort to slow the spread of the coronavirus. And the Town Toyota Center, of course, is the Wenatchee Valley's biggest gathering place, is now the central point each Wednesday for food distribution for those in need. Our very own Rachel Mendalis visited the Town Toyota Center on Wednesday, and she spoke with one of the coordinators.
The previous week, we did 452, and this week we did, just shy of 300. We are, working with the Community Action Council, who is really a huge story in this whole food insecurity in our community. The Community Action Council has set up their assembly and distribution center here at the Town Toyota Center, and they're doing over 3,000 boxes a week that they're putting together throughout the 2-county area. And so we did receive boxes from them, and then we also added and supplemented our donations that come in and our supply chains that we were able to add to that. So we had about 10 volunteers. 13, because we had 3 out in the parking lot. And so we had 3 that were out in the parking lot that were kind of directing traffic, and then we had 4 out that were putting boxes in cars, and then the rest were doing the assembly on the inside and getting them out to the cars. Our food bank, by the way, was a drive-through, and so people did not need to get out of their cars. They just popped the hatch in the back, and we dropped those in. And so we've had as many as 70 volunteers that have signed up this week. They're not all here at the same time. We limit that to 10 volunteers in the space at any given time, but that's a lot, actually, for now. We definitely see an increased need. The numbers that we talked about today, that Community Action Council typically does somewhere around 10,000, 10,500 boxes in our two-county area a month, and anticipate that going up close to 13,000. There's folks that are coming to the food bank now that have never gone to a food bank. You've got layoffs of folks that have had the resources personally to be able to to be food secure. And now with the layoffs coming, and there is a significant increase in that need. Yes, but I really believe that this community is ahead of the curve in terms of responding, with partners like the Town Toyota Center and Link adjusting their route to help folks that don't have wheels to get to the food bank, have an opportunity to get the food that they need. And I think the biggest story is that we are responding compassionately while maintaining a level of safety, for that we all need to be practicing right now.
And for the most part, we are practicing social distancing and taking care of our neighbors during these unprecedented times here, not only in North Central Washington, but all over this country and all over this planet. It's 52 minutes after the hour. Don't forget, we will have a newscast with Grant Olson in the anchor chair. Eric Granstrom continues to work from home, so we will have sports with Eric coming up. And Grant, of course, not only handling the news, but handling your cool and, I'm afraid, cloudy weather forecast for the weekend. Today's looking sunny and windy. Complete forecast details, another tour around the Wenatchee Valley with our cameras, plus a patch report. We'll wrap up a week's worth of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. When we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
The world around us is constantly changing. Major employers in North Central Washington have expressed a need for capable, qualified engineering technologists who can think critically and solve problems. And at Wenatchee Valley College, we listened. We are pleased to offer a Bachelor of Applied Science Engineering Technology degree to provide you with a world of new opportunities. Your time is now. The future is waiting for you.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists, proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.
Owner Andrew Vickery brings years of experience to help you transition your backyard into a place where memories are made, family time is looked forward to, and friends are always welcome. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa offers many different styles and sizes of artesian spas, both new and used, as well as residential and commercial pool and spa services, regular maintenance and repairs, and all the chemicals required to keep your pool and spa crystal clear. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa today.
55 minutes after the hour on this Friday, the third day of April 2020. I am Dan Kuntz. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Lots of sunshine. Nice morning. It's cool. It's 28 degrees, just 1 degree off a record low for this date. And, of course, we set a record low on Thursday, April 2nd. I'll give you those details in just a little bit. But we have a time. We thought since it's such a beautiful morning, we'll take one more tour around the Wenatchee Valley. Now that the sun has really gotten going, it came up at 6:34, goes down tonight at 7:34, so exactly 13 hours of daylight, and we start working on more than that starting tomorrow. So outside of just a couple of high clouds here and there, we have a beautiful morning right now as we look at the Wenatchee Valley from our cross camera located adjacent to the cross at the tip of Wenatchee Heights, and that is a 4K camera, so that's 4 times the resolution as a normal high-definition camera, and a beautiful view of the Wenatchee Valley. But yes, traffic has been very quiet and very light. It is quite obvious to me, anyway, that the vast majority of our fellow citizens in the North Central Washington area are taking this very seriously indeed and trying to self-quarantine and stay at home as much as they possibly can. Camera number 2, I think we're going to use the same camera, so yep, that's camera number 2. I keep forgetting the name of that darn camera. So anyway, there it is. It's a beautiful view. There's the Columbia River. It's flowing. Trust me on that. I believe that's somewhere to the north of us. I honestly don't know. One of these days I'll get that one figured out. All of these cameras, of course, courtesy of Localtel's Sky-Fi setup. Camera number 3, I believe we are off to Leavenworth, and there we are, the Tumwater camera, the Tumwater Canyon camera, easy for me to say. That's not in the Tumwater. That's right before you head into the Tumwater. Quite an interesting camera position to physically access for our Sky-Fi crew. They make it up there. I mentioned this yesterday. Some of these Sky-Fi towers, they actually had to build the road just to put the tower up there as we look over the Bavarian village of Leavenworth on a beautiful Friday morning. It's chilly up in Leavenworth, as you might imagine. And camera number 4, I believe we are back up to Billy Goat, and yes, we are. What a stunning view that is of all of our cameras, and there's about, I don't know, 60 or so, give or take a couple. Not all of our Sky-Fi towers have cameras on them, but many of them do, and of all of them, that's got to be my favorite, because you can just see forever and ever and ever and ever. It's like you can see all of Okanogan County. You can certainly see Pateros is at the bottom of your screen. That's where the Methow empties into the Columbia River. A little bit farther up, of course, we see Brewster. Bridgeport is tucked behind the ridge there. Can't make out Bridgeport, but we can see Brewster for the most part, and Pateros and the mighty Columbia, which rolls right along. Good views this morning. I'm glad we could use these good views this morning. We have lots of sunshine this morning because that is going to change. First things first, we are in for some breezy conditions today. That gradient is really tight. There's an upper trough. It's pushing its way through, so we're looking at pretty good winds today. These are your wind gusts, and most of these will be in the afternoon hours, as you can see, for the Wenatchee Valley. Gusts anywhere from 20 to 25 miles an hour, blowing directly from the west to the east. Ellensburg will be windier still. Same deal with the Yakima area, down to the Tri-Cities. It's going to be windier as well. Not quite as windy in the Waterville Plateau area, but still, you're going to get blustered around a little bit. But there's good news. It's not nearly going to be as windy as they thought earlier in the week. So wind gusts about 20 to 25 miles an hour. All right, let's take a look at the forecast real quick. Lots of sunshine today. Wind out of the west this morning. Gusty this afternoon. We'll top off at about 52 degrees. Clear tonight, 29 for the overnight low. The winds will be dying down eventually. Clouds Saturday, yeah, afraid so. Saturday morning, going to see some sunshine. It's not going to last very long as the day progresses. The clouds will be rolling in. We'll top off at 53 on Saturday. The overnight low is much more comfortable, 35 on Saturday night. Nothing but clouds on Sunday. Again, a high of 53. That is below normal, but there's no rain or precipitation for the weekend, just lots of clouds, I'm afraid. And then we have a nice warming trend on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, eventually climbing up to not only normal, but above normal, near 70 on Thursday. I can live with that. Real quickly, mountain passes, believe it or not, you still got some winter driving conditions right now. I'll just give it to you real quick. There's a traction tire advisory on I-90. It's snowing there. Traction tires are advised on Stevens with light snow there. Blewett Pass is fine. They're expecting a couple of inches of snow in the mountain passes today, a couple of inches tonight, and then that's it. So it looks like winter is all but done in the Cascades. I want to thank everybody who started their week with us here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Have a good and safe weekend. We'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.